Today, we're diving into a really powerful, maybe even a little counterintuitive career lesson. The idea is this. What if you started picking your jobs based on what you'll learn, not just what you'll earn? It sounds a little crazy, but it might just be the key to getting out of the daily grind for good. So let's get into it. Okay, let me ask you something. You've got two job offers on the table. Job A is the safe bet. A higher salary, it's secure, the path is clear. Job B, well, that's the wild card. It pays less, it feels a lot riskier, and here's the kicker. It forces you to learn a skill you are genuinely terrified of. Maybe that's sales, maybe it's public speaking. Now, most people would jump at job A, right? It's a no-brainer. But what if choosing job A is actually the thing that's keeping you stuck?
And this leads us to what is basically the grand finale lesson from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is what we're digging into today. The core idea is simple, but honestly, it's revolutionary. Work to learn. Don't work for money. Let's really unpack what that means in the real world.
To really get our heads around this, nothing beats a good story. This is a real-life example of this principle in action. It's about a very talented writer who got some advice that, let's just say it was not what she was expecting to hear. So, picture this. A young, super smart journalist is interviewing Robert Kiyosaki. She's got a master's degree in English literature, her big dream to become a best-selling author. And she's a fantastic writer, no question. But her work just isn't taking off, so she's frustrated. And she asks him for his advice.
Kiyosaki looks at her work, agrees she's a great writer, and then he drops this bombshell on her. He tells her to go sign up for a sales course. You can just imagine her reaction. She was completely horrified, insulted even. She's like, I have a master's degree. I'm a professional writer. I would never stoop so low as to learn how to sell.
And this is where it all clicks. Kiyosaki just calmly picks up one of his own best-selling books and points out this one crucial distinction. The goal isn't to be the best writing author. The goal is to be a best-selling author. She was so focused on perfecting her craft, she totally missed the other skills she needed to actually get that craft out into the world. So what's the real lesson from her story? It actually shines a huge spotlight on a fundamental flaw in most of our traditional career advice. And it's something we can call the specialization trap. This really boils down to two completely different ways of looking at work. You've got the poor dad philosophy, which is what most of us are taught. Specialize. Get really good at one thing for job security so you can be a valuable employee. But the rich dad philosophy is the exact opposite. Learn broadly. Learn lots of things to gain financial freedom so you can eventually become the owner. See, the big danger with over-specializing is that it makes you fragile. You might become a highly paid, very important cog in a big machine, but at the end of the day, you're still just a cog. You're totally dependent on that one skill and that one employer. Your security isn't really yours, it belongs to the system. So, if being hyper-specialized is the trap, what's the escape plan? Well, the solution is to start building what's known as a T-shaped skill stack. Think of the letter T. A T-shaped professional is the goal here. The vertical bar of that T, that's your deep expertise. That's your craft, like writing or coding or cooking. But the horizontal bar, that's a wide range of other business skills that support your main one. And that combination, that's where the magic really happens. You're not a jack of all trades, master of none. You're a master of one, with real competence in many others. So what kind of skills go into that horizontal bar? Well, according to the Rich Dad philosophy, these are the big five. You gotta know how to manage cash flow. You need to understand systems and how to manage people. But the two most important ones, the ones that trip up almost every talented person, are sales and marketing. The ability to sell your ideas, your products, yourself. That's the ultimate game changer. Seriously, think about it. The world is absolutely full of brilliant artists, genius coders, and amazing chefs. But a brilliant artist who also knows how to run a marketing campaign, negotiate a deal, and lead a team, that person is a unicorn. They're incredibly rare and they're incredibly valuable. That's how you stop just having a job and start building an empire. Now hold on. This isn't about just becoming a directionless job hopper. Bouncing around with no plan isn't the point. This has to be a deliberate, strategic plan for your own personal growth. This is the huge mental shift you have to make. You have to change the number one question you ask yourself when you're looking at a new job. Instead of just asking, what does it pay? You need to start asking, what's the curriculum here? What skills will this job teach me that will make me way more valuable in the long run? And you can do this in so many ways. Yeah, maybe you actually take that lower paying job for a year or two specifically to learn about sales. Or maybe at your current job, you volunteer to lead that really tough project that nobody wants, just to get management experience. You could even join a club like Toastmasters on a Saturday morning to finally get over your fear of public speaking. You're not just working, you're investing in yourself. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually put this into practice today? Let's walk through a super simple but really powerful exercise, your 30-day skill stack audit. Let's do a quick audit right now. First column, what's your core skill? The thing you're already great at. Write it down. Second column, and you got to be brutally honest with yourself here, what's your weakest business skill? Is it sales, leadership, marketing, the one you dread doing the most? That's your target. And finally, in the third column, write down just one concrete step you can take in the next 30 days to start getting better at it. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Every single job you take can be one of two things. It can be just a paycheck that keeps you running in place on the hamster wheel, or it can be a paid training ground for your future freedom. The choice is always yours. So the real question is, what are you going to choose to learn next?